I'm Dr. Dan Moynihan, and as we get started here today, talking about nutrition and immunity, I have to make a very clear stipulation. Your choices when it comes to your nutrition are so impactful on your health. We are in a crisis right now in the United States. We have the most incidence of cancer. We have the highest rates of diabetes. We are still, heart disease is the #1 killer in the US still. And we are still the highest prescription taking country in the world. We take 80% of the world's medications in this country. And I hate to tell you, it's not working. And you know it's true. You look around at your family and your friends, and almost everyone is on some sort of medication, has some sort of diagnosis, and feels like they're not in control of their health. And so today is about breaking you out of that system. And as a chiropractor, I'm going to teach you our job in chiropractic is to get to the cause, of disease, to get to the cause of lack of healing and regeneration in the body. So I'm going to use that philosophy to get to the cause of your nutritional issues today. And instead of covering up your problems with more medications and more treatments and remedies and prescriptions, I'm going to teach you to get back to a lifestyle that is congruent with your genetics, congruent with how you were made, and let your body start expressing the intelligence that it has inside of it. Let your body start doing what it's best at, which is taking care of you, healing you, and allowing you to regenerate. And so when we talk about nutrition and immunity, it's important to understand that nutrition is one aspect of what it actually requires to be healthy. So you actually require 5 things to be healthy. And so these are the 5 essentials of max living that I teach in my clinic, and these are what my patients get, and these are the main things that will allow you to be healthy and vibrant. And so number 1 is core chiropractic. What this means is, in chiropractic, we understand the brain, the spinal cord, and the nervous system is the master control system of the human body. All healing is governed by the brain. If you cut somebody's head off, their diet doesn't matter, their fitness level doesn't matter, toxicity doesn't matter, it doesn't matter how many push-ups they could do. If your brain is injured, your body can't heal. If your spinal cord is injured, your body can't heal. So the point of the chiropractic aspect is to find and eliminate any spinal subluxation which interferes with your body's ability to self-heal and self-regulate. So the immune system is part of that. If your brain and nervous system are compromised, you will not have a healthy immune system. Number 2, which we're focusing on today, is maximizing our nutrition. So if your body doesn't have the raw materials that it needs to build up a strong immune system, to maintain healthy cells, to maintain healthy tissues, like your skin, the tight junctions in your gut, and the tight junctions in the blood-brain barrier, if your body doesn't have the nutrients it needs, it cannot have a healthy immune system. And so that's what we're going to dive into today. You've got to have the right mindset, which is what we're talking on right now. If you understand why you're changing your nutrition, if you understand why you're eating what you're eating, if you understand what foods you're putting in for what reasons, you are going to have better outcomes than somebody who doesn't understand why. We live in a country that our nutrition is based on speed and cost. We want fast, we want cheap, we are disconnected from where our food comes from, and we are completely blind to the fact that it is chemically produced and laden with chemicals instead of nutrients. So I'm gonna teach you this today. Oxygen and exercise. Everybody wants to look good, but it's more than that. Your body needs lean body mass and lean tissue to promote normal hormone balances and pathways, and your body needs oxygen to regenerate your cells, to feed your brain, and to fight cancer. And the last essential is minimizing toxicity, maximizing vitality by minimizing toxicity. And we know that toxic exposure creates work for the human body. And so if you can eliminate toxicity in your life, you're making your body have an easier job, a much easier job at survival by just simply existing in a healthy environment. So those are the 5 essentials. Again, we're going to mostly be hitting mindset, toxins, and nutrition today as it pertains to your immune system. And so when we talk about the immune system, we have to take a step back and say, what causes someone to be sick and someone else to not get sick? That's really what we're talking about. We all know you've showed up to work in the past, your kid's gone to school in the past, somebody's been home sick, 5 kids are at home sick, or they're sitting next to you sick, or 5 kids are in the classroom sick, and everyone else in the classroom is there. All the other 20 kids are still in school, and they're not going to get it. They're not going to get sick from it, whatever it is, right? So we know there are exceptions. We know that your spouse or your partner living in your house with you has come home, fever, coughing, chills. They go in the bedroom. You guys all sleep in the same room. You're eating in the same dining room. You're doing everything together. And that's the only person in your household that got sick. The rest of the family didn't get it. How is that possible? How is it that some people never get sick or rarely get sick, and others are extremely likely and frequently become ill? And this is based on debunking the germ theory. So we know that the germ theory is a theory, yet it's what you've been taught. It's what most of our medical policies are based on, and it's a theory. And the germ theory is to say that exposure to germs makes you sick, but it doesn't always. So there's no causal relationship between exposure to germs and someone getting sick, because everyone who is exposed to a germ would have to get sick. You're surrounded by billions and billions of bacteria in just your body, your microbiome. We are surrounded by 10 to the 31 trillions and trillions of viruses every single day, and our bodies are maintaining and managing this microbiome all day to maintain our health and keep us alive. And this system works wonderfully if it has what it needs. If it falls short of what it needs, these are the people that get sick. If it's missing ingredients or adds too much of a bad thing, this is what causes people to get sick. So we know that there's 4 variables to any infection. These are the 4. The inoculum. What are you being exposed to? How much of it was there? Is it a lot or a little? A lot makes it a little harder on your body. A little makes it easier. How virulent is it? How dangerous? How aggressive? How good is it at getting into your cells and using your physiology to promote its own life? That's virulence. So how much was it and how bad is it are the 2 variables we're not in control of. The 2 that you are in control of is the host immunity. The host is you. How quickly can your immune system find and eliminate unwanted pathogens from your body? And how healthy are you? How good is your brain and nervous system working? Do you have the right nutrients to activate the immune system? Do you have the right hydration levels for your cell to get rid of waste? All of these factors play into it. So today I'm going to talk about host immunity and host health. You. How do we get you healthier than ever so you're not a victim of the environment and people getting you sick? But in reality, if you're not healthy, you're getting yourself sick. There's a reason why you get sick and no one else does. So I'm going to teach you to be that person. I'm going to teach you to be the person like in my office where these people are rarely getting ill because they're using these 5 essentials to help maximize their expression of life, to become a part of the environment instead of fighting against it. And we're going to go through these rules here. I'm going to cut right into it because a lot of you have already some experience or knowledge with nutrition, but I'm going to ask you to set a lot of that aside. You've been taught over the years, that your health is determined by macronutrients, proteins, fats, carbohydrates, okay? And it's true. High carbohydrate diets increase disease. It's true. But I don't want you to micromanage your macronutrients, meaning you can't live a life focused on macronutrients because macronutrients don't tell the whole story. There is an entire universe of micronutrients that we are now beginning to discover and may never know the entire vast truth of with nutrition. And what I mean to say is when you eat a handful of almonds and we look at the protein and the fat and the sugar and the calories may be equal to that of a Twinkie. But the micronutrient ratios in those almonds are completely different. And they provide completely different nutrition to the human body than a Twinkie. So there's no way that eating calories and counting fats is going to create a nutrient profile that's good for your body. So instead, we have to focus on what's called micronutrients. And those micronutrients are the little tiny things in there, phytonutrients, plant-based nutrients that we have a very early understanding of. And I'm going to walk you through the most essential plant nutrients to have in your life to promote immune function. And so we'll start with these things called ITCs. And ITCs are found, they're called isothiocyanates, and they're found in cruciferous vegetables. And so there's a couple different main types that I want to touch on. The first is sulforaphane, which is an anti-cancer and a DNA damage preventer. It protects your DNA from being damaged. DNA, as you understand, is the library. It's the cookbook for your cells. And so when you mess up the instructions, your body doesn't know what to do. DNA damage leads to early disease processes, early aging, and cancer. So if you can eat nutrients that prevent DNA damage, that's something I'm doing every single day. And it's not found in the fast food line, and it's not found in the frozen section with the little microwave meals. It's found in cruciferous veggies. So sulforaphane, that's a big one. Indole 3 carbinol and diindole methane. So I3C and DIM. These are nutrients additionally found inside of cruciferous vegetables. They kill cancer cells. I'm going to repeat that. These ITCs found in cruciferous vegetables have the power to kill cancer cells. Am I saying they treat cancer? No. Am I saying that they can help your body manage healthy cells versus damaged cells? Yes. And so we have evidence of that, especially when related to hormonal cancers, which are the main ones that you're likely to get. Breast, ovarian in women, prostate and testicular in men. And this also increases, so the I3C and DIM, they also affect viral activity in the body. They're antiviral. They help protect against viruses. So if you're concerned about viruses in your life, you need to be consuming cruciferous vegetables. And then another pathway is this NRF2 antioxidant pathway. So the NRF2 pathway activates genes which protect you against free radicals or reactive oxidant species, ROS. So what happens is when your cells are churning and burning and creating energy, they also create exhaust, endogenous toxins, right? And so these reactive oxygen species can damage your cells and lead to premature aging and disease. By eating these cruciferous vegetables, you are activating a protective pathway against oxidative damage. This is so powerful that by eating 20% more vegetables, it's been shown that in someone's life, they will decrease cancer by 20%. 20% more veggies, 20% reduction in cancer. 20% increase in cruciferous veggies led to a 40% decrease in cancer. So you're literally doubling your anti-cancer activity by increasing your cruciferous veggie intake by 20%. Incredible. So when you leave here today, I'm giving you this list. This is the list of cruciferous vegetables which are highest in those ITCs, isothiocyanates. And by bringing these foods into your life, you're going to increase your body's ability to fight cancer, fight viruses, manage inflammation, and decrease the aging process. Incredible. And the beautiful thing about it is you can get them anywhere and they're relatively cheap. Now, here is the nuance. Here's the nuance to this, okay? The quality of the vegetable that you get is dependent on the soil it was grown in and the techniques used to grow it. The soil it was grown in and the techniques used to grow it are going to determine what's in it, okay? So for this reason, I personally, my wife and I and our family now, we are part of a CSA, Community Supported Agriculture. So I would urge you, I'm part of a CSA called Angelic Organics, and they're in Northern Illinois, so they're called Angelic Organics. I'm not associated with them. I'm not marketing for them. I'm just letting you know, this is the one that I found. We've used them for 7 years now, and I love their food. They do a vegetable share, and they do a fruit share. The veggies are all grown on their farm in Northern Illinois, local, close by me. You can go visit the farm with your family. You can choose how many shipments you want, once a week, every other week. They can deliver to your door. You can pick up in your local neighborhood. But these guys are growing organic, biodynamic, meaning crop rotation, cover cropping in the off season. The soil is rich and it's being farmed with ancient knowledge about how to create healthy soil, as opposed to most grocery store foods, which are over farmed, one crop per area on the land over and over and over again, which leads to mineral and nutrient depletion. A lot of the crops in the grocery store are picked because they're grown out of the country. They're picked prematurely. So they're not ripe, they're not ready. They're shipped in a truck using ethylene gas to help change and create ripeness by the time it hits the shelf. So you will notice a difference getting local organic food versus even store-bought organic food. And then the third on that pyramid that I avoid more than anything and almost never have touched in the last 10 years would be conventional produce, which should be called toxic, pesticide, microbiome destroying produce, not conventional. So you want organic and you want it fresh and local. Okay, so find a farm near you that grows this stuff and get it in your house as fresh and as fast as possible. I'm going to give you a recipe as we go on how to cook the Brussels sprouts properly. But first, we have a quiz. So I want to ask you this, okay? So ITCs are found in plants. They're in plants. But I'm going to tell you, they're inactive. They're inactive when the plant is sitting there. So you get your CSA delivery and there's broccoli in there. There's ITCs, but they're just sitting there. They're inactive. How are ITCs released from plants? Is it refrigeration? Does that increase them? Does chewing increase it? Does boiling them pull them out and release it, or gently steaming them and releasing the nutrients in there? Which one do you think it is? And it's a little bit counterintuitive because you would think it has to do with the production process, but it's actually chewing. And so our bodies are so beautifully designed to marry and work symbiotically with nature that by chewing these foods, we crush the little plant cells, open these enzymes up, the enzymes go and activate the ITCs. So for those of you that are fast eaters, you're in trouble because you're not chewing your foods enough. Chewing, juicing, squeezing, blending, these are the ways that you maximize the availability and the benefit of eating cruciferous vegetables. So what you want to do is eat the foods 80% raw if you can, 20% cooked. You want to maximize the amount of chewing by completely chewing everything very well to completion in your mouth until you're ready to swallow it. This makes digestion easier, and this increases the availability of these health-promoting ITCs. And then if you're going to cook the vegetables, heating veggies destroys the enzymes. So you have to cook them the right way. I recommend either pureeing them or blending them if you have to prepare them in any way, aka put them in a smoothie, or you can break them down a little bit before you cook them, add them to stews, add them to soups. If you're going to steam them, don't overcook them. Steam them until they're wilted and bright green, not until they're mush. Overcooking will destroy the nutrients. These are the top foods for those of you looking to maximize your immunity. This is the list here. So you've got your cruciferous, your kales, your collard greens, your mustard greens, your Brussels sprouts, your broccolis, your cauliflowers. Green lettuces, you want to avoid iceberg because they're essentially nutrient devoid, but you want to do either like romaine or green leaf lettuce. Cabbages are phenomenal, and if you can make sauerkraut at home, this is really taken advantage of. Not only are you going to release ITCs, but you're also going to be getting probiotics. Carrots are phenomenal. Anything grown in the ground is phenomenal as long as the soil is healthy, because this is a transportation vessel. Pull the carrot out of the soil. Now you have microbiome information all over the soil for your body, on your skin, in your gut, and you're getting fiber-rich foods that promote healthy bacteria in the gut. So by eating these vegetables, not only are you boosting your immune system through the micronutrients inside of them, but you're also allowing your microbiome, your gut, to be fed and nourished. Now I have to hit on the allium family, which you can see in the background of this slide here, onions and garlic and shallots. These nutrients contain sulfur compounds that are immune supportive. And people over the years have relied on garlic as like a remedy for being sick. And it's been studied, but the most the most highest and best use of garlic and onions is eating them on a regular basis. About a half a cup every single day. Find a way to get it in there in your diet, in your meal planning, in your recipes. And these nutrients not only boost immune function, but they do have antiviral and anti-cancer activity as well. But they're best used to build a strong immune system, not as a last-ditch effort to try to get out of a sickness or an illness. And then mushrooms are another one that we could spend an entire 30 minutes talking about. The vast world of mushroom compounds and fiber in there, like beta-glucan, beta-1,3 glucans. They have massive immune supportive activity. This goes down with reishi mushrooms, maitake, and lion's mane, and all these different types of shiitake mushrooms. But interestingly enough, the highest, most potent anti-aromatase activity is found in white button mushrooms. White button mushrooms, your most common found mushroom in North America for us here, has activity against breast and hormonal cancer, anti-estrogen activity. So high estrogen leads to these hormonal cancers. White button mushrooms breaks that pathway. It actually supports anti-aromatase activity. It inhibits the formation of estrogen. How incredible is that? So instead of getting on a medication, once you have breast cancer, start now consuming more mushrooms in your diet. It'll inhibit extra estrogen formation and prevent some of these toxic environmental estrogens from getting to your body. And you're setting yourself up for success in deterring the growth and formation of breast cancer by eliminating estrogen. So white button mushrooms, incredible. This is my smoothie. So this is a great foundational smoothie that you can make every single day. I do it for breakfast. Me, my wife, the kid, we do it all, my son. So this is a recipe showing the ingredients for one person. If you have more than one, you just double it. If you have three, then you triple it. Get it? So you can use either store-bought coconut milk in the carton, or if you want it to be a little thicker, use a can. So we use, can to a half can of coconut milk, depending on the thickness you like. You add in a few handfuls of frozen spring mix or kale or spinach. I buy it fresh and then freeze it to maintain its freshness. We add that to the bottom of the blender. Then you add your frozen berries, and then you pour water to fill up the fluid level to the level of the berries. And then you can blend it smooth, and then you add your protein and your green supplement if you're using a powdered green supplement. So that's the recipe. Blend your recipe smooth before you add the protein powder. So your body, I use the Max Living. It's a grass-fed whey protein concentrate. It's a complete protein. It's a concentrate, not an isolate, because it's minimally processed. It's got intact proteins. It was processed in a cold temperature. It wasn't heated and destroyed. So the problem a lot of you are doing is you're buying the cheapest protein available. It was destroyed in its production, and it literally is presenting you with almost no nutritional value. The proteins are all damaged and injured, so your body doesn't know what to do with them. So instead what you want is a grass-fed, the cows were raised the right way, non-denatured, organic, healthy, clean protein concentrate. And that's going to give your body the protein. Your body breaks it down, turns those proteins into amino acids, and then takes those amino acid building blocks, and it can build things in your cells with them. So that's why I add that in there. So add it at the end and then mix it lightly as to not destroy the protein. You're buying a good protein, or you should be, so don't waste it and break it up and chop it up and blender it to death in your own smoothie, okay? The other thing I want to say is I do use a lot of frozen berries. Whenever they're not available fresh, I prefer to buy them frozen. The same is true with fruits and veggies, because veggies grown in South America or berries from South America, I'd rather them pick them fresh there, freeze them, and send them to me, instead of just picking them really early and then sending them and shipping them all the way here. You're going to get better nutrient density sometimes with frozen fruit, believe it or not. So here's the action steps to take starting today to improve your immune function. Eat at least 3 servings of fresh fruit a day. And that sounds counterintuitive to those of you that are doing ketosis or a ketogenic diet or low carb or whatever you're doing. Fruits are full of antioxidants. If you're watching your carbs, eat berries. Eat berries. This morning I had a handful of raspberries, a big bowl of raspberries for breakfast. So it can be 3 servings, it can be different fruits, or it can be all the same. Berries, cherries, plums, watermelon, oranges, whatever's in season. Eat it earlier in the day because then your body's going to use those carbohydrates and burn them off throughout the day. Eat a large salad every day. If you hate salads, make 2 smoothies. Because what's going into that salad, what's going into that smoothie is already a few handfuls of greens, which is a salad. Or, like I do, I make a big salad that's hard to almost finish, full of leafy green vegetables, full of cucumbers, lettuce. I do olives in there. We do healthy fat, a clean protein like an organic chicken, organic salmon, a wild caught salmon, anything that we get like that, we're going to put it in there and use it either that night for dinner and then put the leftovers in the salad, or we're just going to make the protein specific for the salad. The other thing that you need to do is eat at least one big serving of raw nuts or seeds every day and chew them up really good. My favorites are pistachios, macadamia nuts, walnuts, almonds. These have phenomenal immune boosting capabilities. They have great omega-3 and omega-6 fatty acid profiles in there for the brain. So get at least a serving of those in every day. And then for dinner, you're going to do a huge serving of cruciferous veggies every day. Cruciferous veggies, go back and look at the list. Find your favorite 2 recipes. I'm going to give you the link in a second. And pick 2, 3, 4 recipes that you get really good at. And then you're just going to make those on a regular basis. You don't need as much variety as you think you do. And if you look at your diet you're eating now, you're already barely getting any variety. So stop being so stubborn. Now, you're going to avoid grilled meats, processed meats, commercial meats. These are great at causing cancers. Fried foods and trans fats destroy the outer layer of your cell. The phospholipid bilayer is made out of fat. If you feed your body bad, toxic, burnt, fried fats, you start making your body out of bad, toxic, fried fats. So stop eating those immediately. Processed dairy, those of you with food allergies, sinus issues, congestion, kids with ear infections, get them off of commercial toxic dairy products. Find a local farm, find someone where you can get healthy, organic, and if even possible, if it's legal by you, raw dairy. And then get away from the artificial sweeteners and the sugary drinks. These are some of the most inflammatory, immune compromising things you can put in your body. Avoid sucralose, avoid the aspartames. You'll see warnings on the labels for aspartame. Avoid those, desperately avoid those. And then white flour, processed carbohydrates, stay away from those as well. Those are super dangerous. This is your white bread, your bagels, your breakfast cereals. Stay away from those. They are processed, and then they have to add nutrients back in. If they never had them in the first place, that's a red flag. And if they're adding synthetics back in, that's even worse. I put together a handout here that you'll get. So this is the Nutrition and Immunity Links handout. The first link is to all the recipes on the Max Living website. You go to maxliving.com, and in the upper corner there, you go to Healthy Recipes. And there is an archive of wonderful tasting recipes that take advantage of these I3Cs and organosulfur compounds. And it's taking advantage of everything that I just taught you while creating easy to prepare, easy to eat meals that work great for a whole family. There's 2 supplements I put links to on here because they pertain specifically to immune function. One is the broccoli blend. What this is, they've extracted ITCs from broccoli as well as the activating cofactor compounds and put it in a supplement. So if you're fighting cancer, you're sick all the time, you're feeling lethargic or inflamed, achy joints, this is a way that alongside eating your diet and making the changes I told you today, you can also supplement and increase your ITCs. So you take one of these a day for a maintenance dose. Some people I have doing 2 or 3 a day to really help boost them for a short period of time. And this supplement comes with 90 capsules that'll last you about 3 months. So that's one way to get those back in there. I put a link if you want to read more on that. And then I also have the immune bundle. These 4 things on here are something that I take every day. And it's because I'm not waiting to get sick. I'm doing everything I can to make sure my body functions right. Vitamin D3 is essential to a properly functioning nervous system. The immune support, IM support, is all medicinal mushrooms. It's got elderberry, echinacea. It's got so herbal support for the immune system as well as the mushrooms. Vitamin C, everyone knows it, and then zinc, which is an essential mineral for immune activation. And then I put down here 4 articles, so 12 quick ways to add greens in your diet, daily defense in your immune system. Daily defense is a antioxidant protocol I follow. Antioxidants and immunity, and then what is your body telling you with these cold symptoms? So feel free to take a look at those articles. And then I also have a video for you of a shopping trip that I took, so you can see basically what are the mainstays in the cabinet, in the kitchen, what are the main things you need at your house to keep healthy and keep your immune system strong. If you have any other questions, shoot me an email. You can find us planet-chiro.com, planet like the planet Earth, -chiro.com. And feel free to reach out, any questions, concern, thoughts, and let me know, and I'll communicate back and help you get healthy. So I just want to take a second to show you guys what we get at Costco and why we go there. So this is our cart leaving today. We got lucky, lots of organic veggies. So these are all good on the advanced plan. Where's the cauliflower? We got cauliflower too down here. So we'll put these in a baking sheet or a baking tray and bake those in avocado oil or coconut oil. I prefer avocado though. Stuff like this, a keto granola. This is good. It's got no bad oils in it. You want to look and make sure they use either a coconut oil or an avocado oil, palm oil, hearts of palm. Do not get anything with bad oils, sunflower, safflower, canola, cottonseed, corn oils is not good either. So just check it for oils. This one doesn't even use an oil, so pretty impressive. And then they use a sugar replacement, erythritol, which doesn't spike your blood sugar. So that helps too. Avocados, healthy fat. Berries for breakfast for the advanced plan, those of you doing the advanced plan. No fruit. If you're doing the core plan, you could do bananas, you can do oranges, you can do high sugar fruits. And then we got wild Alaskan salmon. That's your key word. Wild has to be wild caught. You do not want farm raised. Actually, you could tell the difference almost always by the farm raised have these giant thick white lines of fat between them because they fat them up with bad feed. Remember, whatever they ate, you ate. So you don't want to eat their bad feed. And then this is a cool one too. They have this nutso. It's cashews, almond, Brazil nuts, flax seeds, chia seeds, hazelnuts, pumpkin, and sea salt. So this is a good high-fat snack. No peanuts. Don't do peanut oil. And then we've got milkadamia and then the coconut, if you can see these ones here. So these are what we use for the smoothies, either in the blender or the powdered smoothies.